Alright everyone, this is Maitri.
We're chilling at our home here in Brooklyn, New York.
And this is
Theorematic.
Make us see what we don't want to believe. Keep on telling lies till we see it with
Yeah, I think when we write the music, it's kind of just like coming from ourselves and our heart, and it's like whatever comes out. We don't really try to necessarily think about, oh, what do people want, or like, how do we want this to sound? At least from my perspective, when I'm like writing the music, it's just kind of, it's just how it is. But then I guess when we arrange it more in the band context, that's maybe when, yeah, we try to get more interesting with it. Sometimes it can happen together. A couple songs on the album kind of happened that way organically, where we were just sitting around and kind of wanted to write something new for a gig we had coming up, and kind of, I think Caroline came up with some chords, and then I was like finding a melody, and we both came up with some words, and then I came up with the chords for the next section.
But we've been kind of realizing sometimes that it works better if we have something to bring to the situation, because there's been moments recently where we've been trying to just come to the writing table together with nothing, and that's a little more difficult,
right?
Because brainstorming together is always harder, than
because you don't have really nothing to start with, so it's kind of like putting something together out of thin air, opposed to having a piece like, I got this piece. What can you add to it?
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah. So that works really well, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. But
then there are other songs on the album that we just wrote individually.
Yeah. So it's kind of a whole mix of.
Yeah, and really the inspiration for me came from when I was reading this book by Pema Chodron. She's this Buddhist monk who had this really terrible experience with a divorce, I believe, and then she ended up becoming like a nun, I guess. So totally giving up everything and to have this lifestyle of meditation and just respite from everything else in the world. And she wrote about this concept, which a lot of people in that kind of world know about, which is called Maitri, which is like loving yourself through loving other people, like this being of compassion that you have for yourself, meaning like you can't really love other people unless you truly find love for yourself.
put your head in the clouds.
Well, we might do a record of covers, kind of as an in-between before our next like original album. Talked about doing that because we like to play some cover songs, and we kind of mess with them and make them our own way. But the next stuff is probably going to be a little bit like the last record we recorded. We tracked with our full band at the studio, and then we did all these overdubs. We did like 10 songs in one day, rhythm section tracking, and then we kind of did overdubs with vocals and other keyboards here. But I think the next record we're going to kind of start more here, or with me and Caroline, kind of, I guess, in a more production role, and kind of maybe take it more like track by track,
right,
rather than taking 10 songs and then having a lot of work to do. So kind of building things from the ground up, and then maybe going and adding some live drums or something at a different studio. So a little bit different of a process, and maybe more electronic sounds.
I am awake, I hear your voice clearly. Look around, you say don't fear me.
Well, we're both full-time musicians, like playing and teaching, but we're involved in a lot of projects. This is one it's definitely a priority though, and kind of different over others because it's our like original music. And Caroline has other projects that she plays saxophone and instrumentally, like jazz projects and stuff, but this is her only project where she's singing. So I think that's a different thing for her too. So we're definitely trying to make this band. I don't know if we can make this project like the main source of our income ever, that seems, I don't know.
It seems doable.
It seems doable. But not right now, at least. But we're just, I mean...
It would be great to have that be the main thing, you know, eventually.
Yeah,
or something that we can rely on, or something that can get bigger. I mean, that's my vision for it, is to really try to keep going. I see people who have been doing this kind of thing, who make similar or weirder music than we do, and they have kept going over the years, and they're finally at this ridiculous place where they're feeling supported by a large network of fans, where they can sell out venues and things like that, and tour with a lot bigger name acts.
Dreams can make us see what we don't want to